at me.
Hi, what are we, 600 years old? I'm doing the twist, you're doing.
Why would you be doing the twist?
I don't know, I can't see ya.
Hey, the mashed potato, there we go.
Oh, yeah, our next guest, we already know it's going to be great. Okay, giving the gift of flowers to a love interest dates back to ancient Roman times. Did you know that?
Well, I do.
In New York City, in 2025, you can't walk a block without seeing flowers for sale outside of a bodega. And while many times there are great flowers, the arrangements aren't always the best. It's usually just one of one flower or a couple that are zhuzhed together.
I don't know what bodega you going to. My carries everything.
Okay, well, do you know what to do with them once you bring them home?
I know, I'm learning today, I hope.
Well, tell them why.
That's where our next guest comes in. Justin Lievano is the creative force behind UrbanStems. He serves as the floral design manager, and he's here with us right now.
Oh, gosh. It's always wonderful to see you, and I know you wake up like this with this gorgeous hair.
And shiny. I wake up like that, too. I am here to teach you how to do flowers today. I want to share with you just some tips, some tricks to make things easier, so I have props. I'm going to teach you to do flowers a little bit. I have flower scissors for you.
Holy moly.
So,
listen,
tell me.
so Super Bowl was, a big game was yesterday. Valentine's is coming up.
It is.
So is this your Super Bowl?
This is my Super Bowl. It's the Thunderdome right now. We are well prepared for one of our busiest holidays of the year. Mother's Day is the other big tentpole one, but yeah, Valentine's Day is a big deal. Lots of happiness to deliver.
Yes.
We're very much looking forward to it.
Now, you frequent a bodega for flowers.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right down here.
Is there a flower that you avoid?
The expensive ones. No, I'm kidding.
When we go to the bodega, no, they have some
I like
flowers.
colorful. I like different. I like.
Okay.
Is there something we should avoid or something we should look for when we're looking at bodega flowers? Wilted petals.
Yeah, so I mean, you want to avoid any obvious signs of browning, anything that's looking very wilty. But the other trick, and this is my favorite one, is if you have a bunch of flowers, actually flip them over and look at the bottom of the stem. You want to look at what you see here. If it's looking sort of brown or slimy or whatever, it's probably an old cut. The product has probably been there for a while.
Got it.
If it's looking a little more crisp, a little more sort of, the insides of most stems are like an off-white color. So if it's looking freshly chopped, there's usually typically a good sign. So check the tops of your stems. Of course, look at the tops of your flowers. Check out the bottoms, too. That's a real tip for when you're shopping at the market.
Never knew that.
Slimy.
Yeah.
Oh,
We don't want slime.
You don't want
we
slime.
want beauty, not slime.
Good point.
Okay, here we are. You've
Yes.
bought some gorgeous flowers
Yes, I
and
have.
some filler
Yes, I
as
have.
well.
Because it's all about balance, really. So when we think of a whole floral composition, right, we want to think of head flowers, big showy flowers like roses, like these guys. We want to think of the textures that accompany them, that are going to be like these little petite, beautiful spray roses, or maybe these charming little hypericum berries. And then we want our greenery, of course.
Okay.
And the reason I have everything laid out this way is because I like to, and I can show you, or I can ask you to do it.
We're going to do it.
I like to start with a few stems of greenery to kind of like build the base of my arrangement. So,
we should start with the green.
Yes, you should. Let me give you some green too, my love.
What is the appropriate
Marisol,
amount
a few
of flower bunches?
The appropriate amount, I would just say that you want to have all of your stem types covered. So you want to have the head flowers, like I said, you want to have textures, and you want greens. If you're missing one of those things, your composition is going to look a little out of balance, right? So if you only have big head flowers, you'll end up with a really like bulbous, heavy-looking arrangement that's a little funny. Whereas like if it's all greenery, then it's going to look very wispy, like fresh off the side of the highway. We don't want that either, right? We want kind of a nice mixture of all different types of blooms. Yes.
Do you cut, when you're cutting the stem, to give her some agüita on a slant or straight across?
On a slant, yes. On a slant is very important.
Already.
Especially with these nice long stem roses or any kind of rose. They have very woody, thick stems. When you cut on an angle, you're increasing the surface area where that rose can actually absorb water. Exactly. So she can drink right up the stem.
Do we get to the big girl?
Yes. Now, if you have like a nice base of greens, you can put in some of your larger stems. So I like to work in 3s and 5s, which is going to sound crazy, but odd
like
numbers,
music. Yeah.
it is like music. Odd numbers give the eye balance. I like to work in 3s and 5s. I like to pick, 3 or 5 of a given type of flower. Maybe I would do like 5 of these larger roses. I'm ignoring you, my love. Thank you, Marisol.
Okay.
Let me give you some of these nice darker roses too. So I might do like 5 of these larger roses, right? And whenever you're working with a floral element, you want to kind of balance it across the composition, right? So you can see here, you have 2 beautiful hot pink roses on this side. I'm going to bring a hot pink rose over here so that it's not, you don't get the effect of all of your beauty kind of resting on one side of the arrangement.
Okay.
And you want to create contrast, right? Contrast is what moves the eye around your composition, around the arrangement.
Okay.
So you want to create a little bit of contrast where,
I did that wrong.
No. It's a quiet correction. I'm just bringing them a little shorter,
Is it true that roses need more water than other flowers?
Roses are very thirsty flowers,
Okay.
yes. So you want to make sure, like you said, that nice angular cut, fresh water. And by the way, fresh water will change not only your lives, like hydration is very important, but it will change your flowers' lives too.
Okay.
I'm serious. If you are really wanting to be like the best flower parent in the world, you should change the water in your bouquet every single day.
Every day?
Every day. Now, most people probably aren't going to do that, right?
Nope.
We have kids, we have jobs. So if we can, if we could keep to maybe every other day, every couple of days, a nice water change. And then trim the stems as well. Whenever you trim your stems, you're reopening them so that they can
Because they get
continue
thirsty.
drinking water. Exactly.
Holy moly. I
think you're doing it beautifully. I think
Oh,
you
I
need a
forgot
little
about
bit
these
more
guys.
spray rose up here in the front. Yeah, just
well,
so that
those
there's
are the tips.
some nice texture in between your blooms.
I cannot wait. I'm gonna. Wow. I want to impress you, so I'm trying to make this.
I would
as
be impressed
gorgeous.
no matter what you create, but I am going to make sure that you're happy with your creation before we finish
I am.
here.
I'm going to continue working
Yes,
on this
we're
in
going
the
to keep
commercial
working.
break.
We're going to trim your
Justin.
stems a little further.
Yeah, we got to definitely
Oh,
go down.
look at you.
Gorgeous.
Too
Very
long,
bold.
too long.
No,
At least to a
no.
longer
Bold.
pause.
It's
Bold.
like it's a joyful arrangement.
I like
It's
it.
expressive. It's kind of exploding out of the vase, but we are going to shorten it a little.
Justin, thank you
Thank you so much.
Amazing.
It was so nice to meet you.
Working on this.
Yes, we're going to keep working.
Thank you.